Hey guys, and welcome back to another edition of Sweet Talk with me, Taj B, your international matchmaker and relationship consultant. Happy New Day, guys, to each and every one of you. And a super somber but special Happy New Day to all Lakers fans and all fans of Kobe Bryant, right? Because what a tragedy that we've all had to witness is quite sad. But I want to take a time to name the other victims of that helicopter crash because they too are mourning their own families. Like families have been torn apart, families are in mourning, they're in grief, and I think it's worth it to note their names, right? So let's just call them out. We have John Altabelli and his wife Carrie, their daughter Alyssa, Christina Moser, Sarah Chester, and her daughter Peyton, and the pilot who is Ara Zaboyan. So when we see these things on a grand scale, it makes us think about our own lives and how it's so important to live each day really as if it's your last. Like it sounds cliche, but really and truly, you can't put stuff off. Like if you have something to say to someone, say it. If there's something that you're looking to do, start it, right? So there's no point in living for the future per se, like what's going to happen 5 years from now or 10 years from now. What's going on with you now? What's happening in your life right now? Now is the time to hold your family members closer, let the people know that you love them, whom you do. Whatever you need to get off your chest, do that because you actually don't know when your time might come. And it's not about wealth, it's not about, health even really, because you can be healthy and still die today. You can be wealthy and still die tomorrow. So death is for each and every one of us, young and old. It's no longer just for the elderly in their beds anymore. Each and every one of us needs to face our own mortality, and in doing so, live our lives accordingly, guys. So that's what's going on in the news today. That's what a lot of us are thinking about, and that's what's on a lot of our minds. So take the time, guys, and hold your loved ones even closer. So today, what are we talking about on today's episode? Resentment. Dum dum dum. Yeah, resentment in your relationship because it's a serious thing, guys. It's easy to say like the biggest problem in relationships is money and sex, but I would say in my own experience as a relationship consultant that I'd say it's a battle for empathy. Yeah, like what do I mean by that? Like how your feelings get hurt and you feel like I am hurt, I'm doing too much in this relationship, me, look at how he's treating me, look at what she's doing to me, look at what I have to put up with. So it's like a battle for who should be feeling more sorry for the other. And that actually, guys, is the biggest problem in our relationships today. Like I'm hurt. No, I'm hurt. No, I'm hurt. And couples do this all the time, fighting over who is more deserving of empathy. Do you guys understand what I mean? Like, do you see that in your own relationship? For instance, you're upset that you're the one who has to pick up the kids from school. You're the one who has the most time with them. And you feel like your partner is getting scotch off, scotch free because they don't have to do the same thing. So you want them to emphasize with you in what it is that you have to be doing, but you're feeling like they're not doing that. So it's like, I kind of resent you for not showing me the empathy that I feel that I deserve. But all the while, when you're feeling that way, your partner now, they feel like, man, I've got to work so late. I've got to deal with the traffic to come home. She doesn't have to deal with traffic coming home. She works so close. She even gets more time with the children. I don't get those time with the kids. Or maybe you guys don't have kids. You just feel like she's home before I am, right? And she's getting more downtime than I do. And she doesn't understand what it's like to be me. She doesn't feel my pain. And that, guys, is a battle for empathy. And as that continues in your relationship, this is where resentment takes hold. And once resentment takes hold, things are pretty much, can we say, not good, like negative, unhealthy from there on. Like who deserves more empathy should not be a topic in your relationship. And if you find that that is going on, then pay attention to the rest of this episode where I give you the tips and the hints on how to clear that right of our lives, right? Often partners refuse to offer the other empathy, like offer empathy to each other, because to do so would mean admitting they are to blame. So you don't want to offer empathy to your partner because if you have to say, man, I am so sorry that you have so much of the housework to do, what you're really saying is, I am so sorry I am not helping you enough with the housework, right? If you're trying to say, I am so sorry that you have to work on weekends and we don't get to spend that time together, what you're saying is, I am sorry that I am not finding the time otherwise for you and I to be together. So a lot of the time we do want to empathize with our partner, but we cannot, because we have that thing inside of us that doesn't want to take blame for what's wrong in our relationship. Like, I don't want to be the one who is the bad guy here. It's just better if I just kind of make up phantom reasons why my partner is the bad one. And you rather do that than to own up to your own mistakes. And this, guys, this in itself, that is what leads to resentment. And as hurt and resentment accumulate in a relationship with your partner, it becomes harder and harder to emphasize what your partner's experience. So the more you resent your partner, the harder it is for you to emphasize with them. You don't want to give them the empathy because you resent them, which is very borderline with hate, guys, right? So because you have this resentment, oh, you get to spend so much time with your friends and I do not. When something is happening with them, you cannot give them the empathy that they need because the resentment trumps your other feelings. Do you guys find that in your own life? Like for me, sometimes something has happened with my partner and I really like, how should I say this? Like my brain is telling me this is bad, Taj, and you should feel sorry for him. But my pride is telling me to hell with that. I am the one who's hurt here for whatever reason that I have harboring in my soul, right? So I don't really want to address his pain and I don't want to address what's going on with him. So therefore I am unwilling to give him my empathy because the resentment is so strong. So if we want to emphasize with each other, we have to let go of the resentment that we have for each other. And it's a circle, guys. It's like a dog chasing its tail. One has to go for the other one to drop off. Resentment is the most toxic of all emotions to an intimate relationship. Yes, it is. Like, it's not really the lies. It's not really, disrespect. It's not these things. It's really resentment is the most toxic thing in an intimate relationship, because when you're feeling resentful, you don't want to have a good time. You don't even want to laugh at their jokes. Like they come home and, they think everything all right, but you've been there stewing all day and they're like making little jokes and you're just like, look at him making jokes when I'm so upset, or like she's trying to make plans like, oh baby, let's go here, baby, let's go there, but you're feeling resentful about you guys' financial situation, so you're just looking at her like, look at that damn idiot making all these plans to go out with what money, hoe? Like, you know what I mean? Maybe you're feeling that way, but it's the resentment, guys, that is preventing you guys to emphasize with each other. So you have to listen to me. If you listen to nothing else, you have to let that go. Like, because if you don't try to address the resentment, it won't go away on its own. Yeah, it's not something that's just going to disappear, guys. It's not just going to poof. Like, sometimes you're upset with your partner and you're like, I'm just going to leave it alone and let it blow over, but it actually doesn't. It actually just boils up until it explodes in like a big showing of disrespect. Like maybe you're gonna cuss them out and like call them out their name and talk about their mama and all that stuff. You really didn't need to get there had you just addressed the resentment in the first place. That's really what it is to be done. And how can we reverse empathy, guys? Putting yourself in your partner's shoes. It is that simple. Like, you really have to think about it from their point of view. So, okay, maybe they get to spend more time with their friends than you do, but maybe you need to look at the other aspects of their life. Maybe where you think they're winning, they really actually are not. And because of that resentment in your soul, you're not actually able to see, let's call it the suffering maybe, that your partner is going through. So therefore, you actually cannot emphasize with them, none at all. And that, guys, is really, really, really sad. And resentment also results from any kind of perceived inequality. So you have to find balance. When we feel like there's inequality going on in our relationship, that's what the resentment wants to take hold. So if one of you is doing all of the housework and the other is not, you're going to have to address that, because let me tell you, no matter what the person who is doing all of the housework says, they are not happy about it. A lot of the time people come and they're like, but she said she was okay to do it all. But that's just how we have things set up. Oh, that's just what's normal in our family home. Oh, that's what's normal in our relationship. And you think it's okay, but it's actually not. And it's never okay, guys. Once there is any point of inequality in your relationship, just best know somebody here is holding resentment. So if you are the one who decides where the money gets spent, when the other partner comes, there's no money left in the account, and you're talking about, I bought this, I paid for this, I did this bill, blah, 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 but you left no room for them to decide what to do with the money. And that's just how things have been going on and on. Be sure there is some resentment there, and it will rear its ugly head, and it will destroy your relationship. Because 8 out of 10 times I find when a relationship goes south, it is the resentment that caused it to go there. That's why I had no choice than to do an episode on resentment today, guys, because it really, like I said, it is the number one thing that makes a relationship toxic. And if we can get that out of our lives, then we're winning, right? We're both winning. We're all winning. And like I said, we're on a mission here with Sweet Talk, right? We're on a mission for better families, better relationships, better communities, and a better world altogether. And it starts with the small stuff. It starts with the small steps, getting rid of getting rid of resentment in our lives, and bringing in empathy for each other. Be clear and direct about your needs. So you have needs, you've got to be clear and direct about them. Otherwise, how would your partner know what it is that you want? A lot of us are sitting around hoping that our partner is playing the guessing game. Like, we are not being clear. We're not saying that we want to go somewhere fancy once a month. We're seeing other people going fancy places on social media, and we're just wondering, why the hell did I settle for this worthless guy who can't even take me to a nice dinner somewhere, you know? And you're thinking that and you're feeling that, but you're not saying it, and you're not making it clear. All the while, your partner is going around boasting, talking about, man, my girl's so down to earth. She doesn't ever want to go to fancy dinners. It's really nice having a woman like that in my life. You know, y'all need to get a woman like that too. Because he doesn't know. He doesn't know what's going on, you know? Or your man, because a lot of times, a lot of men, when they come to me for help, what they do say, ladies, listen up, get your pens out, take a note. They say that they don't feel like they are a priority in the relationship. They feel like they are the ones who's always having to buy the gifts, celebrate like the anniversaries and stuff, do something nice, surprise her, but nothing is done for them. Nothing nice is done for them. And I know as I'm saying this, some of you women out there are just like, oh yeah, right. These guys, they get everything. Like, screw them. You're saying it. I know you are. But that's why they feel that way, guys, right? So men, you need to make your needs clear. You need to be direct about what it is that you want in this relationship. What do you want from your woman? Say it. Speak it out, because we are not mind readers. Is anybody here? I definitely am not. So I'm sure many of us aren't as well. And if you cannot read minds, you cannot just hypothetically just know what it is that your partner wants. Not just because you know them. Knowing someone doesn't mean that you know all of their deepest wants and desires. It's crazy. It's ridiculous. And the only way to get that information across, guys, is to say it with me, speak up. Good job, guys. So speak up about your needs and be direct about your wants. And that is a great way to kind of sweep resentment out of your relationship. Because if you're being clear, right? Like, I want A, B, and sometimes E, and you're being so clear about that, and your partner is still giving you Z, F, and G, okay, that person is not the person for you. They don't actually love you enough to give you the things that you want, or maybe the things that you want are outside of their comfort zone and you're just not worth it. So you need to figure out what it is, what's the next step for you, and what you need to do about moving on with your life, because there's no point, guys, in hanging on to a relationship that is not working. Yeah. If it isn't working and it hasn't been working for a while, what's the point? Like I always say, if it isn't love, what's the point, guys? Well, what are we doing this for? For likes? Come on. We're all past this in 2020, people. Focus on feelings and express feelings more than thoughts. So you guys are going to have to listen very carefully here. There's a difference between actual feelings and thoughts. And the thought leaves a lot of room for guessing, whereas the feeling is direct and to the point. So, what do I mean? Like a thought is, if you express your thought opposed to your feeling, a thought leaves room for debate and for the person to get defensive. So, for example, instead of saying, I feel like you don't care, you should say, I feel lonely. Because saying, I feel like you don't care is a thought that you're having. And that opens room for your partner then to debate you. Like, what, how you mean you feel like I don't care? Of course I care. Look at this. Opposed to if you say, I feel lonely, then your partner has to address how in a relationship can you then be lonely and what is happening for you to feel lonely. And then you leave room for them to be able to emphasize with you. Does that make sense, guys? I hope so. So express your feelings opposed to a thought and really take your time to figure out the difference between the two. You don't feel like you're getting help? I don't feel like you helped me, none at all. More so, I feel overwhelmed. Why are you overwhelmed? So you get what I'm saying? You don't want to necessarily, when you're expressing yourself, when you're trying to get rid of the resentment, you don't want to open it up where you seem like you're attacking your partner, where it is you're constantly saying to them, you don't do this, you don't do that, you're this, you're that, look at what you've done to my life. Like, you don't want none of this thing. You just want to be clear, like, me, because it really is on you. Like, it really is on us. How someone else makes you feel is on you. I know, throw the rocks at me, whatever, but it is the truth, guys. So you need to change your language in order to have your partner be able to emphasize with you. Then you need to focus on the positives. That is like a no-brainer, but really, a lot of us are not doing it, and you need to focus on what is working here. A lot of times resentment is like bubbling up because we're really thinking about like the way this woman chews gum. It's just obnoxious and I cannot stand it. And if I had to listen to one more symphony in her mouth when we're sitting down watching TV, I might just snap and choke her. Like, if you're thinking about that all the time and you're like, I can't even take this girl nowhere because she's gonna be smacking that gum like there's no tomorrow, and I just need to stay home with this girl, and you're constantly thinking about that, I mean, you're eventually going to start hating the woman, really. So you need to start focusing on the positives, guys. What is working? What is good? What is nice about your relationship? Like, okay, maybe she smacks her mouth a lot, but, she's a pretty clean girl. She keeps a really clean home and she carries herself well. Like, maybe he dresses like he's from a 90s hip hop video and it's embarrassing. But you know what? He's a good working, good worker, good provider. You know what I mean? He's making good plans for our future. Focus on what is working, opposed to just focusing on what is not. This is not a message to ignore what's not working, guys, because like I said prior, speak up, talk about the things that you need to speak about, be clear about your wants and your needs. So that doesn't mean that you're going to be hushing about the things that are bothering you, but it means that you're not going to be focusing on them as if it's the only aspect of your relationship. When you do that, resentment abound, guys, empathy gone out the door, and it's just like a hate relationship going on. And nobody really wants that, guys, right? Like, nobody wants to hate your partner, because what would be the point of being with them? And a lot of us out here are with people for other reasons other than love, and that is not good. Yeah, if it isn't love, it isn't worth it, and it isn't real, and you therefore owe it to yourself to go out and find what is real and what is working for you, guys. So that is what I've got to say about resentment and the whole topic of that. And the main thing to remember from what I've said is resentment actually is the number one thing that creates unhealthy relationship. It's the number one thing that adds to a toxic life. In order for you to get rid of resentment, you're going to have to find a way where you can have empathy for each other. And how you will do this is by speaking on your wants and your needs, being positive about your partner and your relationship, honesty as to what's going on with you and how you feel, and expressing your feelings opposed to your thoughts. So not looking for ways to attack your partner and jump down on them as if, they are the ones who've created all the problems in your life. This is ridiculous, because usually we have grown at least 16 before we started in our relationships and whatnot. So your problems are your own, and you've had them long before this relationship. So don't come here and blame your partner for everything that's going wrong in your life. You're gonna have to take some responsibility for your own self. Okay, guys? So with that being said, it's time for my favorite time. It's time for those segments. What should we start with? What do y'all say? You know what? We'll start with the personals, because, they're great. So where should we go? Should I start with the women? Should I start with the men? I'll start with the ladies. Ladies, this one is for our ladies who love other ladies. Here she goes. Lipstick femme for stud. So for those who don't know what that is, a lipstick femme would be like high glamour girl, girly girl, but still a lesbian. So, and she's looking for a stud, which I feel like I don't have to explain that. And if I do, I don't know if you should be watching the show. Okay. So a lipstick femme for a stud. I like girly stuff, getting pampered, future soccer mom, looking for the woman that I would call Zaddy. Well, so if that sounded like your wife, you're looking for a soccer mom, girly girl, and you want to pamper your future queen, then holler at me and let me see if you are a match for her. All right, ladies, are you guys ready? I've got a potential husband here for you. I'm tired of the world. What? Okay, wait, hold on. You peeps. Okay, I'm tired of the world and all its pretentious people. Me too. Pretentious people are a blight on society. Come flee this life with me. What do you mean, though? We'll leave behind the TV, car, concrete, and stress. Outdoor skills a plus. Okay, I get it. You're going off grid. Okay, so anybody interested in this, he doesn't describe who he is or what he looks like or anything, but if you want to leave this world behind and go learn how to make fire out of sticks and, build your own hut and everything, I'm laughing because that's what I want to do. So I don't know, maybe I'll meet you guys out there. So ladies, if that piques your interest, then I've got a guy for you. Contact me at sweettalkwithtajb@gmail.com and I'll see if you would be interested. Now it is time for the misconnection section.
Hello, is it me you're looking for? I can see it in your eyes.
I love this tune. It's my favorite part of the show. Oh, like I said, Lionel made this just for me. So here we go. And what is the misconnections, guys? So if you saw someone briefly and you're like, that is my partner, that is a person that I'm meant to be with in this life, but then you didn't get their contact information or you lost it or, whatever happened, but you can't get them out of your mind. You're like, I just cannot be in love with anybody else because that is who Allah meant for me, right? Well, write to me and I will try my best to find them. And like I always say, I've already found 2, so there's no reason why I can't find them all. So this one goes, plot 7. You were at plot 7, July 27th, 2019. I like that date and everything. So I don't know what plot 7 is, but I did Google it. I did write back asking, but I didn't get back a response in time for filming. So plot 7 seems to be a club in Accra, Ghana. So if I am right, that's awesome. And if anybody who listens to our show or watches our show, I've got a little contest for you. If you can send me a picture of yourself in front of or inside of plot 7, I don't know what we can promise you. I'll send you something nice. It'll be worth your time. So holla. So here we go. You were with your girls. Ooh, you look best. Well, that's nice. Wearing green trousers and dazzle top. What's that? I don't know, but I'm sure she does. Your skin, smile. I just know you're my wife. Wow. I'm Victor. I don't remember your name. Victor, come on. If she's going to be your wife, you're going to have to remember the name. I sent wine and Akka. What's Akka? Anybody can tell me. I might have something for you too. But went outside to meet my friend. Came back, you were gone. Oof. Who are you? Here's my number. Oh, no, I'm not going to give the number. So, thanks for sending your number, though, Victor. Okay, so let's go over this. So, you were at plot 7 and you were wearing green trousers with your pants, right? Yeah. And a dazzle top. And your skin and your smile were just amazing. So much so that Victor, who sent the wine and aka for you and your friends, decided that you are his future wife. He doesn't remember the name though, but he remembers all these fine details. He went outside briefly and then you disappeared like a ghost in the night. So if you were not purposely trying to ghost our friend Victor, madame, please contact us so we can see if you guys are indeed a match for each other. And any friends, anybody who works at plot 7 who remembers this incident on July 27th of 2019. I mean, that's almost, no, that's not a whole year away. Let me not be obnoxious. So anybody can help us out. We would so much appreciate it. Moving on, guys. It is time for the Dear Taj segment. What's that? Write to me with your love, relationship, lifestyle questions, and I will try my best to answer them. If you want me to answer on air, then you write answer on air, and I will do just that. And as you guys know, I just read them exactly how you send them. So know what you're doing when you write to me. Here we go. Dear Taj, why don't women want me? Womp, womp, womp. I don't think I look so bad. You didn't send a picture. How am I to judge? I see uglier guys than me pulling chicks all the time. Okay. What's wrong with me? No, but I know what you mean though, you know? I try to be fresh, smell good, but none show interest. I'm tired of all this. I'm starting to hate them all. Uh-oh. What should I do? Future incel. Oh gosh. You know, I was thinking we needed to do a whole episode on the whole incel movement. And since you sent this letter, I think I actually will. Okay, so you say you try, you smell good and and all of that. But then you say that you're starting to hate them all. And that might be your problem right there, my friend. When you're approaching women, like we kind of have a sixth sense type thing. We kind of can sense your anger and we can kind of sense like, don't hate me for these words. I'm just gonna keep it real. That is my job. We can kind of sense if you're like a loser, you know, like we can kind of sense if you're like angry and like you might hate us or have some problem with us. We can feel it. So it might be in your approach because you have that feeling already that women don't want you and they don't like you. Your approach is actually based off of that. So you need to take a deep breath. You need to look about what is positive about you. And like you say, you're not that bad looking. You see other girls with uglier guys than you. So what's the deal? The deal is your personality. And the deal is in your approach. And the deal is in the type of women that you're approaching. Because sometimes I'll actually go out in the field with some men to see the way that they approach women, to see what the problem here is. And what a lot of times I find is they're actually approaching unapproachable women. What I mean by that, a woman is dead deep in her phone, obviously upset, like trying to figure out why her balance says $2.67 and she just deposited 100, you know. And then this is the moment the guy will say, hey babes, like, hey babes, what? Like, you know. So it's a lot of time you're approaching at the wrong time and you're approaching the wrong person. Next, they'll be approaching a woman who obviously is not interested. And what are the signs that a woman is not interested? Looking away, continuing to talk to her friend, pretending to be on the phone, trying to walk as fast as possible in the opposite direction. These things, like you see men all the time, like beeping their cars. Like, what do you want this woman to do? Just stop and run through traffic and come in your car? Like, what is the point of this, right? So you're approaching unapproachable women probably. How is a woman approachable? She doesn't seem busy. She's not currently walking with her kid. She's not currently walking with another guy. She's not in a group of women, because that too is a way to get shot down. You want to find them kind of off to themselves, because a lot of time there's a cock blocker in the mix. So when you see them in like a large group and you're walking up and like you say, maybe you're not all that, the friends will sniff that out and they'll be like, what are you talking to that guy about? Come, let's go. We're busy. No, we don't have no time for this, you know? So I wouldn't suggest approaching women in groups. I wouldn't suggest approaching women who are busy. And you really need to do some deep breathing. I know it sounds ridiculous, but honestly, just try it. Like when you take a deep breath and you release that, your facial muscles soften and you don't look like all scowly. I'm not saying you do, but because you have resentment in your soul, it is present on your facial features. It actually is. So take a deep breath, loosen up your shoulders, put your chest out, because we like men that look like they're very confident. We like men who look like they're about the business. We like men who look like they can beat a bouncer to death for us. This is just the truth. This is what we are generally attracted to. So you want to kind of create that atmosphere for us if you're going to be coming to approach us, okay? And then what do you say when you approach a woman, and how do you say it? A lot of times, I've actually seen this. The man will come up and be like, you can give me your number if you want. You must have so many men behind you. I know you're probably not going to call me or whatever. Don't sell yourself short. In what you say, like, I find you very beautiful. You look like somebody I'd like to get to know better. Here is my contact information. If you would be interested in finding out more about me, I look forward to hearing from you. Yeah, it sounds corny, but I'm telling you, women, put in the comment section if I'm wrong. Like, how would you feel? What is the best approach for you? How do you like to be approached by a man? Okay, so future incel, hoping you don't end up in that bracket, because there is somebody out there for each and every one of us. And your woman is out there. If it is women you want. Yeah, your woman is out there, my friend. So follow that advice. I hope that helped. If it did not, write me again and we'll see what I can do. Okay. So mind your approach, have some confidence, let go of the scrowl, let go of your resentment. All women are not out to get you. All women don't hate you. Okay. There you go. And you're doing a good job by making sure you smell good and look good and all that good stuff. So that, guys, is all my segments for today. I hope you guys enjoyed that show. And before you go, let me leave you with Taj's thought of the day. When we speak up, we are afraid that our words will not be heard or appreciated. But when we are quiet, we are still afraid. That was it, guys. So if you like the way I look, check out Masigo Boutique. If you love the set, that's PRF Events. We have Tara R on the sound, and we have Portia P on the camera. Thanks, y'all. Toodles.